Now we need to load a graphic image into an object. And a good one to start with would be intro background, right? So let's go ahead and do that. So I guess we could do it right here above the music, and we will say intro underscore back is going to be equal to pygame.image.load. And then in the parentheses, you are going to put the file name, so images / and the the folder name, and then / the file name. So intro background.jpg. And so this is going to load an image object into intro back. And now we need to do a couple of things with it. First off, we need to do .convert. I forgot what this does exactly, but you can go ahead and look it up. I believe it makes it easier for Pygame to blit it onto the screen, so it takes less computing power to do so. But I'm not sure about that. And then we're going to say intro underscore back is going to be equal to pygame.transform.scale. And we will say intro underscore back, comma, and then here we will put a tuple, which is the size that we want to resize this image to. Okay. And so what size do we want to set it to? Well, we want it to be the width and height of the screen, right? And we have those values saved in these globals here. So we could say win underscore h, and then win underscore h for the second argument and w for the first argument. So now that we have scaled it, we need a so Pygame image returns a surface, right, that has this image on it. Okay, so intro back contains a surface, right, just like our paddle has a surface, just like our fonts have a surface, right? This here returns a surface, but it puts this picture on it, and it is a surface that is the size of this picture. Okay, and then what we did here is we took that surface, right, with this picture on it, and we resized it, we transformed it and scaled it to the size of the window that we're going to be playing on. And Pygame transform, what it does is it makes those adjustments and it returns another surface with those adjustments. It does not change the original intro back. So what you need to do is you need to save that return value, right? It returns that surface with those adjustments, and we're going to save it in the same variable intro back, which is the variable we're using to save our background image, right? So that's what that's doing, and that's why we need to say intro back is equal to Pygame transform. And then the last thing that we want to do is, in order to blit this on the screen, we could use just like an x and a y value, right, when we blit. But the best way to do this is using a rect. So let's go ahead and say intro underscore rect is equal to, and we'll say intro underscore back dot get rect. And that's perfect because when we make this surface, right, it has a width and it has a height, but it does not have an x and a y coordinate, right? So when we do get rect down here on that surface, that get rect gets a width and a height, right, which is the width and height of the screen, and the x and y are defaulted to 0, 0. And where is 0, 0? Well, if this was our screen, 0, 0 would be right here. And that's perfect because our surface is the size and width of the screen, and we want the top left corner to be right here at 0, 0, right? So that's all we need to do there. And then finally, we need to blit this surface to the screen at this rect location. So if we're here, we want to blit it during the intro, and here's where we're blitting in our intro. So I guess instead of filling screen white, we are going to blit to the screen, the background. So let's go ahead and replace that with intro underscore back, and then replace this rect with intro underscore rect. And then we should see that we have a background. There we go, right? So we're making baby steps towards our final product, and that's what we want to do. Let's go ahead and see what would happen if we do not transform our image. Okay, so let's go ahead and save that. So we're just loading the image, we're not transforming it, we're getting the rect, which is 0, 0, and then we're blending it to the screen. So if I run that, you can see that we just have like the top left quarter of the image, right? Because we didn't resize it. And of course, when I went ahead and looked for this image, I set my settings to large, and I found the biggest, most high def picture that I could find, right? So we definitely need to transform our images, scale them to the right size.